Welcome to the Back Porch Talk podcast. I'm your co-host Jason.
Because Danny.
Fans, we got a full show for you today. But y'all know what to do, man. Go ahead, go ahead, subscribe to the show. Let the algorithm. A little NFL talk, a little college football talk, a little NBA basketball talk. But Danny, seedings were basically solidified, and just a few games of notes, man. I would say for one, Green Bay Packers takes the L 16-3 against the hated Minnesota Vikings. But let's just say this was not the first stringers of the Green Bay Packers that played. Um, yeah, the third string quarterback Clayton Tune to play. 6 for 11, 34 yards. You kidding me? I don't care what string quarterback you are, man. You only got 34 yards, sacked 4 times. This was this an atrocious showing, man. But I'm not going to stick on that game too much because before the game, the Packers' seventh seed was already solidified. Win or lose, they were going to be the seventh seed. And so they just decided to go ahead and rest their starters pretty much. And so we'll see where the week leads us with Jordan Love and others. The only concern I have here, Danny, is the rhythm of the quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Either one, whoever's going to play, and really just even the rhythm of the offensive squad with said quarterback, whether it's Malik or whether it's Jordan Love. I mean, I just think that the rhythm is going to be thrown off. The Packers will be playing against the hated Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears solidified the 2 seed here, and it solidified in a loss because the Eagles lost. Eagles decided not to play their starters either, and so the Eagles lose against the Commanders 24-17, and just hated that had to happen. I don't want to look at the Bears. I don't want to see the Bears for a third time, but that's what's going to happen. The
Mm-hmm.
Bears lose to the Lions 19-16. Danny, the other game of note here for me was that of the Ravens Steelers game late last night. That fourth quarter was amazing.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers and Jackson, man, was this amazing quarterback play. And I'll say this. I was saying this to my dad. I was like, I hated for Derrick Henry and Jackson in a way that they lost
Mm-hmm.
with a missed field goal. And at the same token, I'm glad that it did not end like that for Aaron Rodgers. What I mean by that is, man, you just led your team down the field for a touchdown in the waning moments in the fourth quarter, and all the kicker needs to do is do a job and kick the ball through the uprights and get an extra point.
Yep.
And that wasn't even done. But you did all the work to get your team there. You're still in the lead, but not
Yeah.
as much as you should be. And then on the flip side, the Ravens got down there and did what they were supposed to do. One would argue, do you run another play, get another yard or two? No, you did what was supposed to do. Take the
Mm-hmm.
ball, kneel down in the position where the kicker wants it. You did that. It's in the kicker's hands, and the kicker, the rookie, misses it. Hated that it ended like that.
Yep.
I think for me, it's kind of like the end of a season versus the end of a career, because this very well could have been Aaron Rodgers' last game as a
Mm-hmm.
professional football player. And however you feel about Aaron Rodgers, I just didn't want like a career to end like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be different if it was on you.
Yep.
You threw a whole lot of interceptions. You threw, you fumbled the ball. No, he played a great game. So that was another game of note. Danny, how about you?
Jason, just to piggyback on the Ravens Steelers game, and it was one of those games, man. You just didn't want to see either team lose. Honestly, the way that fourth quarter went, and it was slow
Mm-hmm.
going into the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers made some plays. Uh, things happened. Cornerback slipped. Lamar
Mm-hmm.
made some plays. I was just happy Lamar's and the Ravens season didn't end on that play where he threw it where he thinking DeAndre Hopkins was going to go up the
Yeah.
field,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and DeAndre was standing there like I'm at the first down
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing, and likely made that great catch, and for them to lose in the fashion. Now, I'm curious about Derrick Henry, and it does he hang him up? Does he come back for one more season? And I guess it depends on what they do with Harbaugh and the coaching staff too, right? Because they got to be on the hot seat. So we'll see.
Listen, we're recording on Monday. I'm surprised Harbaugh's lasted this long. If they were going to fire him, to me, it would have been, I think, this morning. And maybe they're talking, and maybe it'll be one of those where it was a mutual decision to go ahead and split.
Or they say you got to change your coordinators or something like that. Because that happens too, where they'll keep the
Mm-hmm.
coach,
Mm-hmm.
but that coaching staff, you got to make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ravens were there, man. They had injuries and whatever they were doing with Derrick Henry during the season. So technically, they could be in the playoffs too. So that's the other thing of this, where a kicker missed and your season's done. So
Mm-hmm.
wild game, man. I got to talk about the Buccaneers Panthers, where the Buccaneers, in a rainstorm, monsoon, whatever you want to call it, won the game on Saturday night. But they needed the Atlanta Falcons to lose to make it to the playoffs. And Atlanta do what they do. They make everything interesting. And Atlanta wins yesterday, 19-17. So the Carolina Panthers get the playoff berth based on the tie. Uh, Kirk Cousins, he had a decent game, 18 for 32. Bijan was held to 33 yards rushing. So the defense came through. Big interception in the fourth quarter by Alford that more or less sealed the game. And Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot, I mean, it was within the hour of that game
Mm.
were let go. So a lot of big decisions on the Atlanta side all the way through. Rumors about Matt Ryan being
Mm-hmm.
named president of the Atlanta Falcons.
Or even
Uh,
GM. Yeah.
so I guess we'll just have to see what they do. But they got out in front of it and didn't waste any time because, they want to have the opportunity to vet some people out. I don't know, Jay. I guess we'll have to see what happens. I knew it was bound to happen. So if it was going to happen, just tear the Band-Aid. The
What
problem is there's just a lot of question marks throughout this organization and roster.
well, Danny, let me say for Raheem to go an hour after the game, man, win or lose, the organization knew what time it was, what they were going to do.
Yep.
Which to me, you don't do that unless you already have not only a plan in place, but a person in place
Yep.
for it to be done that quickly. And this is coming from a 4 game winning streak
Yep.
by the Falcons. Now, I did hear about a stat in where the Falcons have a better win record after they're out of playoff contention.
That is that is so true.
That's crazy, man. And so I'll say this, man. I think the Falcons got the pieces. I would get a couple more pieces here and there,
Hmm.
change outs here and there. When you think about it, man, Falcons could have won this division with this another game. another win.
You don't get swept by the Carolina
If you don't
Panthers.
get swept by the Carolina Panthers, you win the division, basically.
Yes.
That's
And
crazy.
saves Raheem's job.
I thought, at one point before the 4 game winning streak, I was like, he gone either way. I think after even winning 2 games in a row,
Hmm.
I was still kind of like I was on the fence. And after a while, last week, I was like, what? They might actually keep Raheem because he's on a winning streak. He hasn't lost the locker room. They're still
Hmm.
playing fairly well. Well, not fairly well, but they're still playing,
Yep.
for the coach. So I was like, maybe they keep him. The injuries were really the reason why the Falcons, especially at the quarterback position, why they, went left, if you will. But the answer came Sunday afternoon. It didn't matter.
Yep.
Get him out of there. And I think they had this plan in place for quite some time, quite honestly. And here's the thing, Danny. I'm gonna say this. I believe even if the Falcons would have made the playoffs, they still would have fired Raheem. They still would have let GM go. Here's the reason why. If it is Matt Ryan, it wouldn't matter if Raheem won or not. You put Matt Ryan in place, Matt Ryan gonna want to get his own coaches or whatever in
Yep.
place. Bye bye, Raheem. So I'm really believing it wouldn't matter for Raheem. Here's the question though I have. This
Yes.
is Raheem's second coaching job. Does he get a third head coach job?
There are a number of opportunities where he may, because like you said, he didn't. I've always said he's a classy guy. He didn't lose the locker room. The Falcons play how they play, man. It does. I don't. All the coaches we've had, we still have the same issues for whatever reason. There's
Mm-hmm.
root issues there. I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's trauma. But I look at him. It sounds like he's going to interview for the Titans job
Mm-hmm.
this later this week. And I think with Raheem though, he needs to get people that are established coordinators
Mm-hmm.
because Zach Robinson was not an established coordinator. And on the defensive side of the ball, Albrecht was the coordinator. So in the defense, and that's where they fell apart. Where the defense, Diablo got hurt, and then they had a couple other people got hurt, and they were just getting gashed on the run by the running game. And that's where they fell apart. So if he comes in with a staff behind him, I think he'll get hired again.
Well, I'll say this, man. A lot has happened on Monday. The Monday after the season is done. There's a lot of firings.
Mm-hmm.
Today was no exception. As you mentioned, the Falcons didn't wait until Monday. They went ahead and did it on Sunday night. But you also had the likes of the Cleveland Browns firing Stefanski,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll keep their GM. You also have the likes of the Arizona Cardinals firing Gannon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you also have the Raiders firing Pete Carroll after one season. The GM remains there. It looks like the Giants are going to keep their GM. I don't know why, in my opinion. But Danny, to me, with the head coach and GM, it's interesting from the standpoint of the GM hired the head coach. Usually, how
And
the
brought
GM
in the players.
how the GM going to stay and the coach go? I mean, aren't they tied? And I guess here's the thing: if you're hooked into the head coach is going to be there for, well, I can't even say for 4 years anymore because you got rid of Pete Carroll in one season,
Yep.
got rid of Raheem in 2 seasons. This is going to be interesting coaching search, interesting coaching carousel in the NFL. We'll see what happens, but just as we'll see what happens with that, man, the NFL playoffs start next weekend, and where you have the Broncos as the number one seed in the AFC. So they have a bye on Monday night. You have the Steelers against the Texans at Pittsburgh. The four versus the 5 seed, the 4 seed being the Steelers, Texans being the 5 seed. The 3-6 matchup, the Jaguars are playing the Bills, Buffalo Bills. That is a looks to be a Sunday game, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then also on Sunday evening, you have the Patriots, the 2 seed against the Chargers, the 7 seed. This is an interesting matchups, Danny. Let me
Mhm.
just put my markers out there right now. This Steelers Texans game is going to be very interesting. The Texans would may say has an amazing defense. They go into Pittsburgh though. I don't think that matters. You have DK Metcalf possibly being back at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving this to the Texans, Danny. This might be a wrap for Aaron Rodgers' career. I'm leaning towards the Texans. Defense travels. I think with the high that the Pittsburgh Steelers are on or were on yesterday, I'm giving this to the Texans. This Jaguars against the Bills. I haven't really looked at the Jaguars this year, Danny, but the Bills are not the Bills, but we know of them to be. And truth be told, I believe this is going to be a season of or a playoff of. Do you remember when the Golden State Warriors beat the Clippers
Yep.
and nobody was looking for or checking for the Golden State Warriors and they
Yes.
came in and just won the championship?
Yep.
Nobody knew what was happening.
Yes.
I think this is going to be that version in the NFL playoffs. I say that to say I don't think the Bills are going to win. We didn't see the Jaguars coming like this after one season.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see the Patriots coming like this after one season. Ironically enough, it seems like let's say the Jaguars and the Patriots win, they got to face off against each other. The Steelers, Texans, that winner got to face off against the possibly against the Broncos if it all goes down like that. And who saw the Broncos coming like this? What say you about the AFC?
Jason, I will say, man, all these matchups have some intrigue to them. I don't think they're one-sided. I think starting with like you did with the Texans, Steelers defense, TJ Watt came back yesterday. He looked like he was in pretty good shape considering all that went on with him with the
Mm-hmm.
punctured lung. And them being at home helps them. But like you said, man, if the Texans defense plays like it's been playing all year, it's going to be tough for Aaron Rodgers to get comfortable because those dudes up front attack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Steelers going to have their screen game right to
Mm-hmm.
have any chance to win this game, I think. But I'm with you, man. I think the Texans go ahead and win this game. It's kind of scaring me a little bit because after seeing how Aaron Rodgers played last night, I'm like, he may have one more game in him like that, especially
Mm-hmm.
getting DK Metcalf back. But I'm gonna go with the Texans, Jaguars, Bills. Oh man, I, Trevor Lawrence, man. I couldn't put my money on Trevor Lawrence, even though he's been playing lights out these last like 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bills have a golden opportunity here, even though they're on the road, to make some noise with the powers that be are out of the playoffs with the Ravens, Chiefs, and Bengals. But I'm gonna follow you on this one too. I'm going Jaguars. Uh, I just think their defense is playing good enough, and their offense is playing well where they can give the Bills some problems. And Patriots, Chargers. This one's I'm gonna go Patriots because they're at home. I think their running game with Stevenson and Henderson now, they've been a 1-2 punch that's been playing well, and Drake May has been, doing his thing. I'm just hoping these allegations with Diggs
Mm-hmm.
and the other cat that has, I hope that's not a drain on him. It didn't look like it bothered him yesterday. So if that's the case, I think the Patriots go ahead and hold serve next weekend.
And now over to the NFC and where the Seahawks are the number one seed and they have a bye. The 4-5 matchup, you have Panthers against the Rams. 3-6 matchup, you have Eagles against the 49ers. 2-7 matchup, which I mentioned before, the Chicago Bears against the Packers. Danny, that 4 or 5 matchup, I'm going Rams. Rams are the number 5 seed, hands down. And it seems like the Rams are going to have to travel to North Carolina, but I'm giving this to the Rams. This Eagles 49ers matchup, that's going to be very intriguing. For some reason, I'm leaning towards the 49ers.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards the 49ers on this one. I don't know what's going on with Philadelphia, what's been going on with them the whole year. But for some reason, I'm leaning towards the 49ers on this one. And the Bears defense sucks. Uh, but they also produce a lot of turnovers. I
Hmm.
think a turnover situation is going to happen here. I'm leaning towards the Packers, but for some reason, since the Packers are so injured, I can see the Bears doing something here. So we'll see. What say you about the NFC?
Jason, Rams, Panthers. If we remember a couple weeks ago, Rams went into Carolina and got beat by the Carolina Panthers, and everyone was like, "What in the world just happened?" And I, the Rams get Devontae back, Devontae Adams. So I'm assuming they're going to win this game. Stranger things have happened, especially with the Panthers being at home, but I just don't think the Panthers have enough firepower to hang with the Rams. So we'll see. But if you watched yesterday, Arizona hung with the Rams all the way until the fourth quarter. They were tied, and the Rams were up three going into the fourth. So it would not surprise me if they got upset, put it like that. But I'm going to go with the Rams. Eagles, 49ers. Brock Purdy looked like he picked up an injury in that Seattle game, a shoulder injury. So we have to see how severe that is, if that'll impact him at all going into this game. Uh, and the Eagles, oh man, this is tough. 49ers look so bad on Saturday night. And if the Eagles can, their defense can come to play and the offense can give them anything, I think they can get this game. I'm going to go with the Eagles. Uh, but I do say with the 49ers, they want to get that home field because if they make it to the Super Bowl, they're at home. So there's some incentive there for them to try to do something. But the Eagles have any showing at all of heart, soul, anything, this is the game, man. They got to do it. So we'll see what they do. But I'm gonna go Eagles and then Bears, Packers. The Bears scare me, man. After watching yesterday, the first 3 quarters against the Lions, Caleb Williams and them start playing in that fourth quarter like they did against y'all a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were shutting them down. I just don't know what Jordan Love is going to show up
Mm-hmm.
and how banged up is Josh Jacobs. So I am going to go with the Bears. I'm hesitating, man, because I just don't trust them at all the way they played yesterday. They're kind of all over the board, but they do get Roma Dunze back, so that will help. But we'll just have to see how Caleb Williams can hold the offense together and if the defense can make plays, because I think that's going to be huge in this game for them to have actually try to win this.
And Danny, just as we're talking about the NFL playoffs, the college football playoffs are happening as well. And where in the Capital One Orange Bowl, Oregon smokes Texas Tech 23-0. In the Rose Bowl, man, who saw this coming, man? Indiana blows out Alabama 38-3. Golly, man, I did not see that coming, but
Mm-mm.
we'll see what happens moving forward. The Sugar Bowl game, man, what an awesome game this was. Ole Miss prevails 39-34 over Georgia. And Ole Miss has a lot going on from a coaching standpoint right now. We don't know who's coaching, quite frankly. So I I don't know what they're going to do against Miami, who beats Ohio State 24-14. So you have Ole Miss against Miami and Oregon against Indiana. Danny, I think Indiana's going to get them on this one. I see Indiana advancing. and I see Miami advancing. What say you about the college football playoffs?
Jason, Miami's defense is playing lights out. And like I mentioned, man, if Carson Beck can give them anything, that just puts them at a whole different level. So last week, them beating Ohio State the way they did, Oregon did what they did, Indiana. I was the one last week I was worried about because I wanted them to win. There was no hesitancy there, man. They just beat the doors off Alabama. And Ole Miss, man, all the stuff going on. Congratulations to Ole Miss, the players. So in these games coming up, man, I don't know, man. Ole Miss, I don't know if they're a team of destiny or what, but Miami's looking the same way.
Yeah.
So I just don't know with this uncertainty with the coaching staff how this is going to impact these players. But their offense looked great. I think they beat Miami in the Fiesta Bowl just based on the way they played the second half. But Miami's defense has been lights out, so we'll see. And then Oregon, Indiana. I'm a ride with Indiana, but Oregon's defense looked pretty good the other day too, man, against Texas Tech. They shut them straight out. So it's not going to be an easy game for sure, but I'm looking forward to some two good games on Thursday and Friday.
And Danny, just real quickly before we wrap up here, we got word that Peter Feigin, the president of the Milwaukee Bucks, is stepping down. And taking over would be Josh Glessing, who has worked with the Haslam Sports Group. He's the chief strategist in development. He'll be taking over for Feigin here. And so, Danny, this is, I think, the sign of things to come. Feigin did wonders for the partnership with the rest of the community, Milwaukee community. And for it to be a global city, really a global team with Giannis being on there, especially and global exposure, this is a hit, and I believe it could be a sign of things to come. Maybe he's getting out before Giannis gets out. Maybe he's stepping down for whatever reason. I don't know, but I do know this. The Haslams have been a part of the Cleveland Browns franchise for quite some time. The Cleveland Browns have not been successful for quite some time. I sure don't want this to happen to the Milwaukee Bucks. What say you about Peter Feigin stepping down?
Agree, Jason. I'm just curious why. And we talked pre-show. That's like you mentioned. Is there something? There's some foreshadowing here. With Giannis, or is there something else going on? But if that's the case, or I don't know, but it's just tough to see him stepping down. So I'm hoping more information comes out soon so we can wrap our heads around what's going on here and how this will impact the team going forward. Not only from the ownership standpoint, but on down, coaches, players, so on and so forth going forward as we move on and move forward. So big news, and we'll keep everyone abreast of what we find out as we know more.
Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at @back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.